What's going on, guys? RPelton1 coming to you with an unboxing video. This one's got me pretty excited because I know what it is. It was sitting on the porch when I got here and it's from Hammock Gear, so you know this is going to be a good one. Stay tuned and let's see what we got. Alright, so this thing is just going to be a little bit bigger than the most things I unbox, so I got it down here on the floor. And it's funny, you read that right there, do not use blade to open. So my standard Benchmade, obviously I can't use that. That might slice it open. That's too bad. I use a spoon. I don't know, that might be able to work. Fork? Maybe. Banana? Okay, let's get rid of all this stuff. We don't need any of it. I think what we might do is just kabam, just like that. So let's see what we got in here from Hammock Gear. This took about 5 weeks to get. And now that we are in the winter months here, this is something that I hope to use. So in here we got the standard receipt. Looks like it's just off a printer. Address, you know, what the actual item is, la la la. And then in this stuff sack is what we're talking about. But in the box, looks like I got some shot cord there with some clips. I'll tell you what these are for in just a second. And then a little piece of paper that says, hey, RPelton1, you're the best guy ever. You should run for president, and all other stuff from them. So thanks to those guys for getting this to me just before Christmas. Here's what we're looking at. Hammock Gear. This is a 10-degree Econ top quilt. The really cool thing about it is it comes with this giant storage sack, which I really like. It does not come with a stuff sack, but I'm hoping I can use this one in the existing stuff sack that I had for my other sleeping bag. So I'm gonna dive right into it, and you're seeing it the first time I am. And the stuff sack is nice. Looks like it's like cotton. Should be able to store this thing pretty easily. Oh yeah, look at that guy. That is sweetness. So I got the blue on the outside, the gray on the inside, a pretty standard thing. 10-degree, it's been in the box for a little bit while, but you can see. Hammock Gear, Econ, 10-degree. I'll get a length on it, get a weight on it, but this guy is gonna be with me in my hammock. And you know what, I take that back. This does look like a stuff sack for it, but not a compression sack by any means, but did not know that they threw that in there, so that's kind of a nice thing. But let's get a length measurement on it and a weight on it as well and see where we are. I'm stoked. So there she is, all laid out, looking pretty. Now, it's a little tough to measure these kinds of things because there's no definite hard edges to measure. So I laid it right across, and it is lofted just a little bit now, but you can see here, got it, basically to that seam there, and then we'll run it all the way up to about, just about 6 feet. So there you go, right about 6 feet in length. And as far as the standard width goes, this is basically still tucked up under itself. It's still kind of rolled up. Standard, it's about 26 inches. Now, it will be a lot wider once you do get in it because you're supposed to kind of, flare out the sides and make it a lot more roomy. So about 26 inches wide, unflared. So now I got her flared out right around that same spot where I measured it before. Once it's flared out, now it increases to about 31 inches. Then as I pan back, you got the foot end up there, and it flares out towards the head end here, allowing that to wrap around yourself. And for those who really want to know what the very top measurement is on the head end of it, at its widest point, you're looking at roughly, right at that button, 53 inches. So should be plenty of room to get in there. All right, let's get a quick weight on it. Now, obviously I have a really small scale and a really big fluffy top quilt. So I got a jar of peanut butter and a box And we're going to go ahead and turn this on and get it to 0 to tear this out. There we go. Now let's just go ahead and load up the top quilt. Holy moly. All right, that was super difficult. So basically what we got here for a weight on this is 738 grams or 26.03 ounces, otherwise known as 1 pound 10 ounces. So, you know, under 2 pounds, which is really darn good for a 10 degree. All right, so now to get into it, it's very, very simple to do. Now this is, you know, assuming that I'm laying in my hammock or I have some sort of insulation source like a pad or something like that. I ordered this in an extra wide just in case I wanted to use it in a tent, you know, for some ground camping. So let's say I'm sitting on my air pad or in my hammock. You simply get in, you have the foot box here, and it's sewn on this end. Now they do have the available snaps where you can just unsnap the whole thing and lay it out like a blanket. But when you're in 10-degree weather, when it starts getting really cold like that, they do recommend to have a sewn foot box. That way there's no chance of drafts. It's all sealed up for you. And plus, you know, if you need to vent at that cold, then you're probably an extremely hot sleeper and you might need a much less warm top quilt. But you simply slide your feet in, just like that, and then lay down. Now I'm 5'8". Okay, my feet are all the way to the end here. Yeah, it comes up well over my head, kind of wraps around the top of my head here. But it's got a lot of loft to it. And what's really nice is, since I'm a side sleeper traditionally, that's why I like bridge hammocks. You know, you can turn. My knee is right here. My other leg is straight. Plenty of room. I don't feel any constriction. You know, going the other way. Very comfortable. You can feel the warmth radiating out of this thing. As a matter of fact, I'm starting to boil hot here, so I got to get out. But this thing is fantastic, and I can't wait to get it out. So for those of you that are wondering how long the actual foot box is, here's the gusset to the start of the foot box, and then there's the seam way down here. So I'm basically going to measure from this seam here all the way to the top of the gusset. That's kind of what I'm thinking would be an okay idea. Right about there. So you're looking at about 25 inches or so. So just over 2 feet to tuck your feet into there. And this one, it comes up probably right where my knees are, which gives me plenty of room to bend my knees if I need to. The other thing that I noticed on here, you got these little tie outs here, right? And there's one on either side. Now there's 4 of them on the top, 4 of them on the bottom, equaling a total of 8. Now the cool part about that is those are tie outs, so you can put shot cord onto them, and then also onto that one, and then wrap it around your sleeping pad, so that way you're attached. You're kind of like all in this all-in-one system. Really cool. I'll only try it out if I'm going to sleep on the ground, but from here on out, I'm thinking camping. But I did buy the shot cord in order, you know, to give that an option if I absolutely need to. And this is what that package was: shot cord with little clips, and I'll just kind of show it to you here. The clips that tie to them, you know, are just these little things. Little quick clips. It's kind of like the same thing you would see on gloves to keep gloves together. And then, of course, shot cord. And there's also some little tensioners in here, you know, to kind of help tension everything up as well. So, you know, pretty handy. They kind of, I paid for this extra. It was only like a couple of bucks, so I figured why not? If I needed it, I could absolutely use it. And then if I look on the top of it, there's a cinch cord here, a drawstring here, so you can really cinch this up around your neck to get you really good and cozy, to eliminate any drafts around your neck, which is really nice. And if you wanted to completely close it up, there are these snaps here, You know, you just get those together, and now you got kind of an actual traditional sleeping bag here. I don't know if I'll end up using that. If I do, I do, but I don't see myself using it. I'd like to keep it stretched out as much as possible. All right, so for my final initial thoughts on the Hammock Gear Econ 10-degree top quilt. From what I've been seeing so far, the quality levels are outstanding. The seams, the baffles are perfectly straight. Even the main seams, you know, joining two pieces of material together are perfectly straight and finely stitched. You know, whoever did this has been doing this for a little while. Look like they've done it with a lot of skill and a lot of care because, you know, it was for me, obviously. But even from the material they use, everything is just top notch, man. The really nice part about Hammock Gear, which I thought was very, very cool, is the fact that they have economy options, which is what this is. It's an Econ 10-degree. Now, the big difference between the Econ series and then their normal upgraded series is basically the insulation. What's in here creating loft. The Econ series, which is what this is, has a premium duck down. So down derived from ducks. The other materials is a goose down. Now, obviously, you know, premium goose down is the king of the hill as far as insulation goes. You know, from their fluff factor, their R value, from their heat to weight ratios, things like that. Goose reigns supreme, that is for sure. But for someone like me, don't have a lot of money, but we need gear that's gonna work, duck down works perfectly for me because my sleeping bag that I have is made of duck down and I keep plenty of warm in that and it's maintained its loft, it's fine. This one is gonna let me get down to 10 degrees, which I will be using on some of the trips coming up. So this will be an ongoing review. You know, as I'm using it, I'll just keep mentioning how I'm liking it or disliking it in my future videos, trip videos coming up. But so far, I'm stoked. I mean, look at the loft in this thing, you know? I mean, this just been sitting here. I mean, what is it? What's the loft on it? What is that? Right about there? That's like almost 4 inches of loft right there. Obviously, you know, 2 inches on the top, 2 inches at the bottom, but you know, if that doesn't keep you warm, then I don't even know what to tell you. But I'm really excited to get it out. But I really appreciate you watching. If you like what you see, if you like the kind of, you know, opinions that I give you, I would appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Otherwise, if you have any comments, questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer it. But until next time, get outside, stay warm, and just have some fun with life, huh? That's what I want to get out in. Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.